I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but Jesus wins. That's the truth. In the end of times, Jesus wins. And I'm not saying this is the end of times. I do believe a lot of answers point towards we're heading in that direction, but nobody knows. And it's important to remember as things pick up and we approach what appears to be the verge of World War III and the Epstein files and a giant pedo cabal and the fall of just so many leaders, both celebrities and politically. It's like very easy to get wrapped up in it all and start to lose hope and lose faith and desensitize yourself and become very nihilistic, and think, what is the point to it all, to even try at life? And the point to try is because we're still here for a reason. God has you here for a purpose, and that purpose is to serve his mission for you here on earth. A great book to read to kind of like further this understanding is A Purpose-Driven Life. It helps you to understand that your life here on earth isn't the focus. Heaven is the focus. This is just like the warm-up, per se, for that. And if your focus is your life here on earth, you're missing the entire point. God put you here because he has a mission for you to further his kingdom of what's to come. You have to remember, we were separated from God. When sin entered the picture, it wedged itself between us and him, and Jesus was the bridge for that. This life wasn't meant for us. It was never what was planned and promised to us, yet sin changed everything. And the bridge between that is Jesus. And ever since then, God has been making his way and fighting for that relationship to be restored. And that's what's important to remember here. Revelation and what's to come in the end of times isn't a warning per se. It's not to scare you off and for you to lose hope. If anything, it's a roadmap of God's love and his promise to the people of saying, this is to come. This is what you will see. And it is daunting. But I promise you that I love you and I'm not going to abandon you. And in the end, Jesus wins. And it was planned that way the entire time. And so those of faith can rest assured on that strong foundation, on the house built on the rock, that Jesus wins. When the world around us is burning to the ground because of World War III or whatever it may be, in the end, Jesus wins. And something was just like compelling me to say that, because I've been talking to a lot of people that are of faith, are exploring faith, or just trying to find meaning in a world that seems so hopeless. And I think it's extremely important to remember that while the world is falling apart, it's falling apart because of sin. And that's when it's more important than ever to lean on a relationship with God that is void of that sin and can hold you up and withstand whatever you need for support in that moment. Yeah, and more stuff is to come. It's to be expected, as they talk about bombings and wars and suffering and aliens and all of this stuff that's just sort of being conveniently dropped and peppered in there as if it's no big deal now. You got to remember, it is a war of information, and it is constantly being used to manipulate you and pull you away from what should be your primary focus, and that is your relationship with God and the mission he has for you while you're here on earth. And that is to further his kingdom and win souls for heaven. Explain and showcase what a relationship with a loving God looks like in a world that is broken and falling apart. That is your mission while you're here. And it's important to not get distracted and lose hope in what is to come by the world that is falling apart around us. And instead, to let that light the fire underneath you to inspire others and showcase how a love and a relationship with God changes the individual in that relationship with God. That is your mission, and that's what's important to stay focused on. So, I don't know, I just felt really compelled to share this. And if you found it helpful, that makes me really happy, because it showcases that even in these dark times, God has a way of bringing us together as a community, and it makes me happy that you're part of my community and vice versa. Feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how this might have helped you, or any Bible verses that you have found that have given you support and stability during this time. So, and if you like this type of content, subscribe. I'm going to start posting more in regards to this. So, thanks.